Little shop of horrors, watch the crowd. Little shop of terror, watch the crowd. Little shop of horrors, no, It is such a tough time to be in the arts right now. And I think even if you have a job and even if you're working, I think we're all feeling the struggle right now. My name is Caitlin Thames, and I am the director of Little Shop of Horrors.
My name is Donnell Francis, and I am the director of music and pit orchestra for Little Shop of Horrors.
We, as artists, will find a way to come out of this pandemic better and stronger than ever. I think we're already pushing the limits of finding what we can do and how we can still bring art to people, even with the restrictions on it. Trying to have a live audience, but keep that live audience safe, or whether you're trying to do it on Zoom or whether you're doing it live stream, we are going above and beyond to try to find ways to share art with people.
Your sunlight, I've given you dirt. You've given me nothing, but heartache and hurt. I'm begging you sweetly, I'm down on my knees. Now please grow for me.
Obviously, the biggest concern is what if we get quarantined the week of the shows. It's always a concern. But I think what I enjoy the most is that everybody's looking out for each other. Everyone's wearing their mask. We're cleaning up after each other. We're sanitizing. We're staying 6 feet apart as much as we can. So we're taking the right precautions, which makes me feel safe.
You're barely alive. I tried to my levels of moisture from desert to mine. I've given you proactive mineral supplements. What do you want from me? What? Ow! Stupid plant.
Quarantine and COVID-19 were obviously some of our biggest concerns as we started the process. And so one of the first things we established was that we would have understudies for all of the main roles. And so what that allowed us to do is when we did have some instances in which we had some cast members who were quarantined, we had plenty of extra people that could stand in at rehearsal. And then also we utilized Zoom whenever possible. And the actors that were quarantined zoomed in so that they could see what was happening, so that they could make notes in their script. Masks were a concern at the beginning. But I think we've all been masked for so long that we've started to learn how to do more with our eyes and how to do more with our voices. And I think that I'm so proud of my students and for the things that they have done to compensate for the fact that they realize that this part of their face, which is normally what they would emote with, is covered up. And so they have made up for that in inflection and in tone and in the emotion that they put in what they're saying, as well as their eyes and their eyebrows. And so it becomes about bigger, it becomes about more, which is kind of what musical theater is anyways. And luckily Little Shop, with just the campiness and the over-the-topness of it, we are going as far as we possibly can while still remaining genuine to the show. We are staying masked during rehearsals and during the performance for safety. It's something that our school and our fine arts department decided to do, but the kids have risen to the challenge, and I think it is still a phenomenally entertaining show to watch.
I'm excited to bring a new element to the show. Instead of having a soundtrack playing, the opportunity to have live musicians is thrilling, and it's going to bring the stage to life. The students that are around me, students that I teach even in the classroom, they're very smart, and they are looking to better themselves. And having been there before and seeing where I am now as a teacher, just being that influence, being that big brother for them, it's not just playing our instrument, it's preparing these students for college and, what it's like to be in the real world.
This is my 13th year as a high school theater teacher, and I think the most important thing that I've learned is that at the end of the day, it's not about me. It's not even all the way about the final product. It's about the journey. It's about what the kids learn along the way. So it's not about what the audience sees on the final nights. It's about the support that they have given to each other and the support that I hopefully have given them along the way to feel good about the product that they created. Being a high school theater teacher means that my audience and who I'm doing this for is for the kids that are on the stage at the end of the night, and that's what matters to me.
I would say there were times, and especially me being in college, where I wanted to give up on music, where it got hard, but I stayed with it. And that's what you have to do. Always be willing to learn, stay humble.
Hi, I'm Michael, and I'm playing Seymour Krelborn in Little Shop of Horrors.
Hi, I'm Ciara Womath, and I'm playing Audrey.
Hi, my name is Kayla Murphy, and I play the role of Audrey 2 in Little Shop of Horrors.
I am Max Merton, and I played Oren.
My name is Milani Anderson, and my role in the show is one of the urchins, and my specific character name is Runnet.
Hi, my name is Georgia Thomas, and I'm playing Crystal in Little Shop of Horrors.
I'm Olivia Patrick, and I'm the dance captain.
I would definitely have to say the most difficult thing with rehearsing during COVID is wearing a mask.
The masks and having to do choreo with the masks on.
It was difficult to keep masks on and stay apart.
Normally, we just get to sing freely and you don't have to worry about social distancing and staying safe, but now we have masks, we have to stay 6 feet apart in most cases.
The rehearsal process was weird and strange, but surprisingly a lot of fun.
It's been a really interesting process to learn how to act with just the upper half of your face, because we have to wear a mask just like to keep the whole cast safe. We do have understudies, but even so, it's just so important to us to keep our program, well.
Good direction from Miss Thames really helped us to find ways in the scene that we could get the same message across without the physical contact that it usually has.
So I was actually quarantined during the process of rehearsal. I think it was actually the first week right after winter break. And me and my whole family had to stay hunkered down inside of our house for 2 weeks. And so I had to actually do the rehearsal over a Zoom call. It was very strange, to say the least. And I was a little frustrated at first. But once I got back, I just got right in and I did everything that I needed to do. It was awesome.
My favorite part is probably learning new choreo. I'm a dancer, so learning new choreo is really fun for me.
My favorite part of rehearsals was definitely getting to hang out with everyone because the cast is so fun, and also just being able to perform a great show in front of all of our friends.
My favorite part of rehearsal is just seeing everyone, my friends, that we've just been together since freshman year, so it's been really fun.
My favorite part was being with all my friends and doing the thing that I love.
My favorite part of rehearsal overall was getting with my other 2 urchin girls and learning all of our 3-part harmony. It's just been so awesome to get to be their friend, to get to know them better.
I think my favorite thing would probably be working with the understudies. I feel like since we're in this COVID pandemic scenario that we're in, we had to work extra hard with them because it was so important that they got to do a show as well.
So theater in a pandemic is hard. And so as we were looking for shows and looking for really opportunities for the kids to be on stage, our first priority was still safety. Safety for the actors and safety for the audience. And so as I started reading scripts and thinking about it, I was looking for a script in which we could emphasize the distance and be able to block and stay 6 feet apart whenever possible, and to not sacrifice any of the storytelling. And one of the things about Little Shop is that each character is almost kind of their own little island. Like all of Little Shop is about these characters who are longing for connection and can't quite find it. And so with Little Shop, we feel like we were able to do our best to keep the actors safe, and also at the same time not sacrifice any of the story. And also it just felt like don't know, I guess we could have picked a super fun, super happy show to try to make everybody feel a little bit better, but it felt like, I don't know, it just felt like a great way to kind of like wrap up 2020, 2021 with this idea of being careful what you wish for, because you never know exactly how things are gonna turn out, and a year with the best intentions can go very crazy very quickly, just like a plant that looks very innocent can go very, very bad very quickly.